Hello, and welcome to Treading Water podcast. Travis is not with us today. He died.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's dead. I don't know. He fucking cancels. He cancels all the time. But yeah, with us as the co-host today is comedian Brandon LaCarrubba.
What's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
Howdy.
How you doing?
I'm all right, dude.
Yeah.
I'm this is my the start of my goodbye tour.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. The goodbye tour.
Yeah, moving to Austin, Texas, trying to do the thing and go to Comedy Mecca, and
Yeah, that's what it is, right? At this point,
man.
It's Comedy Mecca.
I visited for a week in February, and it was one of my favorite weeks in comedy ever. Just
Yeah.
the amount of mics, the amount of real spots, the amount of just networking. Kill Tony was fun, even though I got like way too salty for like not getting picked. There's like,
yeah.
you're not gonna get picked. Like the odds are against you.
It really are, right? Like the line is insane.
It's not even like exactly. There's a point where it's not even a line. They check you in so early, and they process you pretty quickly, and then you're just like chilling at a bar diagonally across the street from the mothership for.
Right.
You got to be there for like 3 hours essentially. To be there during the window when the guy runs across the street and he grabs you and it's like. I don't know. I think I have a problem where I'm a salty man.
Yeah. I can
salty.
see that. I can see you're salty.
Oh, absolutely. But then just like standing there being like, oh, fuck, I didn't get fucking pulled out of the bucket. What did I?
You know what it is?
What?
Is that there are other Long Island comedians in Austin, right? There's Dom LaMarca and there's M-Sol.
Who got pulled.
Who got pulled. So now that fucking... You know, I don't know what fucking name. I think he goes Matt the W or something now.
Yeah, you know how you remember it? It's just the name Matthew with spaces in it.
Okay, Matt the W.
There you
Got
go.
it. So yeah, but like he won't use his real name. It's so that's what he's going by these days.
Yeah.
And he got picked. So now going there, it's like I would think. Oh, it's really easy to get picked if this fucking guy got picked, you know?
I think it's just truly random, you know?
Yeah, it's truly random. It sounds like an insane day, like a fucking, like waiting online for American Idol or something like that.
A little bit. The cool part about it is it's definitely like, it seems like every comedian in Austin comes out for it. So it's definitely a good networking thing.
Yeah,
You meet people. It's kind of, there's a nice commiseration that I felt the one time I did it.
That is cool.
There was also the one ripped, very aggressive homeless guy in the street running back and forth. Made that a little awkward.
Like what? Like begging for change and shit?
Oh, no. He was just like stopping traffic and like hitting the cars. And
well, that's awesome.
yeah, it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, I like guys like that.
He kind of looked like Tony, but black. I'm just
Black
just calling out to
Tony.
see it, yeah. That's the sequel show to Kill Tony.
So
Tony.
I did have a question about you moving to Austin. Is the girl coming with you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put her in the trunk.
You okay? Cool.
Yeah.
So
so she's in tech and trying to start up a career in tech. So there's a lot of tech there. And then for me, I got comedy. I'm actually really disappointed. I had a job at a boutique Transformer action figure store.
Oh God, that would have been so good for you.
And it fell through, but. Yeah, it's a pretty cool store. Shout out to Toy Dojo in Austin, Texas. They're pretty sick.
Yeah, they're
on my
cool.
level. But so I gotta find a job to hold down rent, and then just gonna be doing as much.
Are you
as
like
I can.
looking on like Indeed?
Yeah, Indeed, and then there's a few jobs like I'm trying to get here, and then like not tell them I'm moving, and then see if I can transfer closer to the date.
Okay.
Get a job with I
Yeah.
was looking at Staples.
Yeah, dude, like I was telling you over text too, like that the move to Austin is something that I would have fucking killed to do. Like years back, before Austin was like a thing when I was in like my 20s, because I'm in a engineering union and they have an international, and a guy that was like pretty close friends with my dad is like the president of the union in California. Nice. So like that was going to be my move, and then I just never fucking did it. And it's just like now I would love to go to Austin, but like I don't know. I'm like 15 years into my career at this point. I'm like 38. I feel like it's just like too late.
Nah, man, never say never, dude. I mean, at least visit. At least pop out. You got boys to crash with at the very least if you don't feel like grabbing a place. And
I would like to visit, definitely.
You wouldn't carry the seniority with you through the union?
Seniority is usually job based. So like every job site is different.
Oh, okay.
So like because I had 4 years seniority at my last job, got laid off, and then started this new job, I'm bottom at seniority. You know, so
experience has got to.
It's different too. You know, like New York City, you're gonna make the most amount of money in my field. The cost of living is obviously fucking higher, but like I don't know. I heard good things like in Texas because there's a guy on my job who's actually thinking about moving down there because his family's down there.
Nice.
So we were talking about it, and it would be like really cool. Like the biggest thing probably that would stop me right now is the girlfriend, and she's got the kids, and both of our parents are in fucking Levittown. So she just like had to change schools for the kids. So like,
but they say the N-word too much?
Yeah, no, like it was a housing issue.
Okay.
So like she had to move to Levittown. I'm in Levittown. Both our parents are in Levittown. My sister's in Levittown. The biggest club in Long Island is in Levittown. So I'm kind of looking to stay in fucking Levittown at this point.
All right. You got a good nerd shop right down Hempstead Turnpike from here.
Which one?
Collector's Emporium.
Oh yeah, they're
not
great.
An ad.
They're great. They're great.
But yeah, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh there next week.
Are you?
Oh,
yeah. I played some Magic the Gathering there.
Nice.
I'm pretty fucking nerdy. I'll say it when Travis isn't here.
Well, that was the unreleased episode of my podcast. You came on, and your guilty pleasure was Magic the Gathering, and it was our second episode on trading card games, and that's right when I just was like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, I know. you just stopped. I did your podcast and fucking the other guy I mentioned, Dom LaMarca. I did his podcast, and I fucking haven't seen anything.
Yeah, you're the podcast killer, man.
I what the fuck? Dom still was releasing episodes in Austin, but like I haven't.
No, you know what happened?
I think he's like real slow at editing and stuff.
Just in general.
Yeah. Slow moving pothead guy.
No, he was doing those interview shows, and then most recently he switched to doing 1 minute interviews. So he has all these old episodes banked, but he's already on to the new idea.
Oh yeah.
So I'm okay with those episodes never seeing the light of day. He interviewed me during an odd time. It was an intense little interview, and he's like asking me about my divorce and shit. And I'm like, I'll let that one.
Yeah.
I'll let that one die.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like my episode wasn't that funny. Like I was kind of talking about like serious stuff, like like meditating and recovery, and like I don't know if there were really that many jokes in it. And then like Dom came out dressed as a woman.
Oh yeah, no, it's a very like Tim and Eric vibe. It's funny in the recording, but it's funnier after the edit.
Yeah, and that's what I would like to see. But
come on, Dom. I know you're sitting on like 30 videos, raw footage,
guy.
but you got this, dude. Crank them out.
But it would have been cool if Travis was here to talk about Austin because he's like in down there, like he gets dates. Like
nice.
he did the Mothership. I think like a privately produced show or something, or
very
like
cool.
Somehow he got on stage, and like I think he did, like a weekend at like a different club, maybe not in Austin, but like he spent like a week down there or 2 weeks or something like that. Like
nice,
so he kind of had more of the logistics, but it seems like it's the fucking cool move. It's like a cool area. Comedy clubs are just popping up, right?
Yeah, they're just popping up, and it. I don't know. I like I said, I had a very good week out there, and it feels like a lot of people are moving there to start comedy.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of super duper new people,
right?
And then there's like Shane Gillis, and I'm sure some other really high profile people, but it
Oh
feels
yeah,
like
I mean, you have like the monsters of comedy. You have like Segura and like
True, I forgot about Segura.
Segura and fucking Kreischer live out there. Rogan, obviously.
no, of course, but
You know.
that like kind of, not to say I'm mid, but like that mid level of guys that are like trying to get past at clubs. It seems like that's what is almost missing out there. It's like brand new
Yeah.
people and then super well established people. So I'm like 5 years in. It felt like a decent,
I feel like
market to capitalize on.
like when New York comedians go on like the road or like try to get into other clubs, like throughout the country, it's easier for us because we have that like New York vibe, and there's a lot more hustle in us. Where everywhere else is like really laid back.
It's just competition at the end of the day.
Yeah,
like,
that's
there's
what
a lot
it
of
is.
good people historically, and they were talking about this on Rogan recently. Like a lot of good people just historically come out of Long Island and obviously New York City.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's the fast-paced nature of shit, and I think it's just that it's competitive, and you can't just do well with half-baked premises. As a guy that's done half-baked premises for a lot of my career, the second you stop doing that, you really start to see a shine from other places for sure.
Right. It's really like, how long have you been doing comedy at this point?
5 years this summer.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you definitely have a lot of like hours in comedy like under your belt. Like,
Yeah.
how many shows do you think you've done?
Oh my God, total? I don't even know. I'd have to think about that and do some light math.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I try to at least do one a week, and it's tough out here.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Without traveling either to the city or past the city, and then you do like a mic run in the city, and then all of a sudden like $80 is gone from just parking,
Right?
and like
Well,
item minimums, and it's like, God damn it,
dude. Like when I was starting, like me and Keegan, like we every Wednesday we would go into New York City, and we would hit open mics that started at 3 p.m. and then there would be a mic in the city every 2 hours. So we would go 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then we would hit the Creek and the Cave on the way home at like 1:30 or something like that. Like, because it was like those were all like the Stand and Stand Up New York and New York Comedy Club, and like we would just hit all those mics. And then like coming back east, was the Creek and the Cave at like 1:30. So like we would do that every Wednesday. And, like that was really how like I feel like I got like good at comedy, It was just like grinding it out, like, and doing that. Like that's like over 8 fucking, that's like 10 hours. That's like 10 hours of comedy and drinking. No,
and there's something to be said about like multiple sets in a day, and like doing a set after you've previously done a set, and you're like thinking about it, and it's almost like listening to audio back or like watching a tape, but like doing it live throughout the day. Yeah, and I feel like those are some of my most valuable sets over the last couple of years are the second or third one in a day.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Because like I always say, like I picked this up from football, is when like
touching guys' sacks.
Yep, I do that often. But like quarterbacks are supposed to have amnesia, right? So it's
because of the head trauma. What do you?
Football is week to week, right? So like you whether you have a bad game or a good game, you have to forget it.
Oh yeah, it's Ted Lasso, man. You seen Ted Lasso?
No, I never.
That
watched
show's
it.
fucking great. I'm sure you must know about the premise, being a football guy. So he's like a football coach in the United States, and he gets hired to coach a soccer team in the UK.
Okay.
And it's Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And that's his like thing he says throughout the series, like, gotta be like a goldfish.
Yeah.
Short memory.
Yeah.
That's it's a great show.
I heard he has like a lot of good like euphemisms throughout the show. Like that's his thing.
For sure.
And I hear it's really good, but I just don't have fucking Apple TV.
Pirate that shit. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, okay. I'm down for that.
Hell
and so like you have to have amnesia.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. And as a comedian, you have to do the same, cuz like say you fucking bomb, like you can't like get that in your head and then like you go into a fucking slump of bombs, but like you also if you do really well, like, you know, you kind of want to ride the high, but like you don't want to come in over confident, you know, like you kind of like gotta like, you know, treat every show like it's its own thing, and like, you know, because every audience is fucking different, and you know, like I feel like that's the same as football being like a quarterback, you know, like every defense is going to be different, so it's like that, like doing like fucking 6 or 7 shows in a day like really helped me get that like amnesia. Like, you know, you just forget about like, oh, I had a bad show at 3:30 p.m. Like I have 6 more lined up, you know, like it just helps you like that, you know?
Yeah, and then the problem is you have a slow week or slow month, and you have like one show over 2 weeks, and then it doesn't go the way you want it to go, and then you jump off a bridge. Like it sucks. It's
right.
Like you can't. That's why you have to have amnesia, because it feels super bad. But that's why, getting the frequency up is good.
Yeah, because like, you know, where I'm at like right now, like I haven't been getting on stage nearly as much. Like I've done 2 shows in 2 weeks, which is like like getting better. Like I'm ramping up. I can feel it, but like, you know, I hadn't been on stage in a couple months because like this new job that I am at, I have a pretty bad schedule. I'm working 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Oh, damn.
You know, Tuesday to Saturday.
Prime
so like
comedy time.
Yeah, you know, so I lose Thursday, I lose Friday, I lose Saturday, and I basically just have Sunday. So and like after working all week, it's like Sunday's my first day off. I just kind of want to chill.
And Sunday shows suck.
Yeah,
historically, like
usually,
there can be good Sunday shows.
Usually, and it's like the one thing I really have is like I could show up here and possibly get a spot, but it's just like it when I don't get a spot, I'm angrier. You know, and then it's just like I feel like I wasted my time. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's been tough, but like having that like one show a month and then doing bad and like waiting next month for your show, like that like eats at me.
It's the worst, man.
You know?
You're making me think of like one of my favorite comedy stories. So it was the night before I had Mark Normand do this old show I used to have in Hauppauge.
Right.
And I'm like super excited. I'm only like a couple of years in comedy, so like I had no business opening for that guy. Yeah. And I'm doing a mic run with Dom LaMarca and Andrew Bergen, and we start off at training
Andrew
day.
Bergen is the yo-yo champion, right?
He was the runner-up in Japan, I think.
Yeah, he's like a fucking world-class yo-yoer.
Which, like, hey, like I fucking respect it, man. I was best in the state at like an obscure character in Super Smash Bros. I can't say I was the second in the fucking out of 8 billion people.
Yeah,
I was like, I went to college with the world champion tech deck, like fingerboarding guy. His YouTube channel was Weak Fingers.
Dude, it's insane that like these things are like competitions to me, you know?
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. At the high level, you make real money.
Yeah.
Like, that's the silly part.
I know.
But so I'm doing a mic run with them, and the first thing that we're doing is in Astoria Park in Queens. And with like the sounds of the city and me being in my head because I got this big show the next day.
Yeah.
I didn't even I was not doing great. I wasn't bombing.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, I don't know what happens. Everyone just starts hating my guts out of nowhere.
Right.
Like it's already bad because we're in a park.
Yeah.
Just with the sounds of New York City. I didn't hear that I got drive-by heckled.
Oh, shit.
And it was like a really shrill, high-pitched, like, female voice. Just like, you suck! Super loud. Everybody heard it but me. And, yeah, when you don't acknowledge a heckle like that, it makes just everybody hate your guts. So, like, that had happened. And then we go to another spot, and then we did okay. And then we went to the last spot at, I think it was Tiny Cupboard. And the whoever was producing that mic just bumped everybody on the list for their buddies.
Yeah.
And I ended up going last, going for a like 5 or 8 minute set. Right, they cut me down to 3. So after all these weird things happening, they cut me to 3 minutes. But there was something about, it was the third show of the day. I had a weird bomb. That was like the best 3-minute set.
Yeah.
I think I ever could have had. And that's part of why for Broken Mic, I do 3 minutes. There's something about it. It just feels right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I always thought the 3 minutes at Broken Mic was short, And
that's the thing. I think for the format, being, a riff on Kill Tony more or less. Like, you know, I can't hide that.
Right.
It feels long almost
Yeah.
at some point because there's some people up that are, it's either their first time or they're like really new, and you're like, oh man, I gotta listen to this for 3 minutes. But
Yeah.
that's what those X's are for. We gotta always tell the judges they gotta fucking use them.
I know. And I felt like when I was on it, I was the only one to use it.
It's the same feedback from judges every time, and even when I give them the right pep talk, it doesn't matter. Afterwards, they always say, like, I just feel like such an asshole as a fellow comic doing this to a comic. But it's part of what they signed up for.
I just didn't want to be the only asshole. Like, you know, like there were some people that were like bad, and I'm like, no. And like everybody else is just like, oh, let him go. You know, like let him finish. And it's just like, no, like that's not the point of this fucking thing. Get him off the stage.
For those listening who aren't aware, it's America's Got Talent.
Explain this.
Meets Kill Tony. So you get a 3-minute set. If there's 3 working comic judges that they can buzz you, they press a buzzer and they get the big and then if all 3 do it, your set's over early. And what I try to tell the judges, like if you see something you don't like and there's no buzzes up there or there's already one, you know, their set's not over. Like they could still like buzz if you feel like it's appropriate, if it's something you think they can work on.
Right.
And then it's just if you're the 3rd guy, at least be aware you are ending their set early. If they deserve it, they deserve it. That's the format of the show.
Right.
But even the more like critical in a good way panelists that are really like giving good feedback. Like the last one was excellent. It was Steve, Mike Keegan, and John Ziegler, and they had great feedback. And they to their credit, they were buzzing people a little more than the average show. And I think the only time they hit 3 was like at the end of some guy's set anyway.
Right.
And I'm glad they buzzed because at the end of the day, it's a great heckling simulator too.
Yeah.
To hear that somebody is expressing that they don't like your shit.
Right.
It's good. It's part
it
of
can
comedy.
knock you off your rhythm.
Right. But I think that's just a part of comedy, part of doing like rowdy shows. And I think it's useful. And it's like, yeah, I gotta tell the judges, like, you have a quota for buzzes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cool idea. I did the panel once, and it was fun. You know, I gotta get down again and do it like here.
No, I'll definitely have you back as a panelist.
Before you jettison off.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, when's that date gonna happen?
The next Broken Mic or leaving?
No, leaving.
We're trying to be moved in by June 1st.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So you got a
lot
couple
of variables.
Months. Yeah.
You know. But speaking of, if anybody wants to buy premium adult collectible Transformers action figures, I can't move with all those sons of bitches.
Oh wow, you got that many?
I got enough that I'm trying to not just drop them off at like a toy store or something. Like I'm trying to get the appropriate value because they're like stocks. Like any collectibles out there, at least hopefully, you hope they actually grow in value and they don't just, you're not just buying toys like an idiot adult.
Yeah. Same with my Magic collection. Exactly. It's like, you know, like I bought everything and then like, you know, in Magic they have like the reserve list, you know, so like there's cards that can't be reprinted.
And then they do it and it pisses everybody off.
Well, no, they can't.
No, but there have been instances, I'm pretty sure, where they have or they made exceptions to it. I don't know. I'm
not the reserve list.
Okay.
The reserve list is like buying a stock and it's only going to go up.
Okay.
You know, like these cards like will never go down because they made a promissory note years ago that they will never reprint those cards. So like if they do, there's a really big class action suit that could happen against Wizards of the Coast.
Okay.
And like now there's more money because it's Hasbro. So like they're not going to really touch it. Like if they do, like they're kind of dumb. Like they're just opening themselves up to losing money. So like buying the reserve list is fucking like that. Yeah, do that. You know,
decent investment.
But like there's also cards that is like when they come out, they're like fucking $200.
Oh yeah.
And then they reprint it to hell. And like
tanks.
And yeah, now like there's some cards when I started playing that were like $200 and now they're maybe like $5, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
$5 or $10. It's, you know, it kills it. It kills it. It makes it just turns it into fucking shitty cardboard at that time.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. The version I play of Yu-Gi-Oh is a classic format, so it's all cards from like 2005 specifically, and like nothing else, and nothing newer. So whenever we get a reprint, we're almost like happy about it, because then it, like, some of the stuff that's high value that you got to buy in to play becomes more accessible. But then, yeah, if you already own the stuff, you're like, this fucking blows.
Yeah, and it really only affects it if you end up like actually selling, because like
some people like never do, and it's like you gotta jump ship when the time's right.
I definitely like get mad when things like lose value, but like
Sure.
I've never really. The only time I ever sold all my cards was just to buy drugs. that was it. I needed like a lot of money, and I just fucking rolled up to a comic book store and was like, "Here," and they're like, "All right, here's $1,000." I'm like, "Thank you."
Hell yeah.
And that definitely sucked, because then I had to like buy it again later. But and of course they go up in money. But that's my fucking shitty life.
I kind of did something similar. With Yu-Gi-Oh, I was the guy who never quit in like throughout middle school and high school. So when other people in school quit, I would usually get their entire collections for nothing.
Oh yeah, see, that's solid. Yeah.
I sorted through it. I pulled the valuable stuff out, and then I had a ton of like thousands and thousands of card of bulk. And then you get a good rate on bulk, you get some money there, and I just sold all of it over the last year.
You know what sucked was like I've tried to do this, but like since over growing up and everything, like there's BuzzFeed articles, and it's like, you might be sitting on $1 million because you have a first edition Charizard, and then no one wants to fucking sell their shit, and it's just like, I want to buy it because I use it, like I'm not trying to rip you off. But like people are like, no, and I'm not going to do that, and like they overprice it, and it's fucking lame.
So I'm that guy when I go to tournaments. I'm that sentimental dude that like grew up with the game, and then there's a fella that I play with, who is just buying up all of the childhood first edition like cards from the TV show, and he'll make me like a reasonable offer, and I'm like, you don't understand how much this weighs on my soul. And actually, he does. He's very cool about it when I say no. But still, like, I could see it like killing him when I'm like, no, I need to own this. It feels good. And then lately, he's been whittling me down every week. I'll do one more $50 card, one more $80 card, and I'm happy to turn that shit into money after all this time. But nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It really is,
it fucking
dude.
Sucks, man.
It really is, and it gets you. It's actually like a fucking weakness. But
oh, dude, absolutely. I just started doing this as a bit, but it's a real story of how like when I went to see the new Spider-Man 3, No Way Home,
right?
And I was like, it's nostalgic. I haven't seen Spider-Man 3 since middle school, and it's just
yeah.
But then Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is like actually in the movie, and then I feel all warm and fuzzy, and I'm like, God damn it, they have their claws in me.
they do get you.
I mean, I'm wearing a Goku hoodie, and I got a Autobot tattoo. Like they got me hook, line,
you're
and sinker.
Definitely like the nerdy comic around.
But I wish I was. I'm the kind of nerdy who's like into anime. I want to be the kind of nerdy that can like put rockets into space and then like afford an apartment.
That would have been cool.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah, I wish I would have tried harder in school. I feel like I could have got there. I could have gone to space.
Yeah, it's like a close second. Have you ever heard of the Vomit Comet?
No.
So it's an airplane that NASA owns, and it's like almost completely empty on the inside.
Really?
And what they do is they, like one of my middle school science teachers like won a contest and got a ride in the Vomit Comet, and all they do is they fly up to the max altitude they can.
Yeah.
And then they dive.
Oh yeah, okay, I've heard of this.
At terminal velocity, so you feel like you're in space and you're weightless and stuff.
Right.
And like Tony Hawk fucking did kickflip in fake space. It was cool.
Yeah.
So we can get you right on the Vomit Comet.
We can
just both do it. Tony,
I'm good, man.
Give me your credit card.
Yeah.
We're going to space.
Yeah, I mean, like that's gonna be what happens soon enough. Is like all the celebrities are just gonna end up going to space and shit. It's just gonna be how much money. Elon Musk is a whore. He'll put anyone in space.
Dude, it's becoming a sci-fi dystopia out here. Like rich people living on the moon, rich people living in space. It's gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, if I was a billionaire, I'd be like, get me away from these peasants.
Yeah. Well, all the billionaires seem to be buying like bunkers and like
for the same reason. Yeah,
digging anti-zombie tunnels and stuff like that. Like they're prepping for something big. That's what conspiracy theories are saying.
I buy it.
Yeah. Do you ever get into those? Like,
I don't know. It's fun.
It's definitely fun to think about.
And I think the problem for me is the CIA coined the term conspiracy theory, so then it's invalidates legitimate shit.
Right. There's a lot of psyop shit.
Yeah, I don't know. What's one I'm really on about? There's a few. I don't know. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Oh, seed oils are bullshit.
Seed oils?
Yeah, man. So like vegetable oil, canola oil.
Okay.
Anything that you wouldn't expect oil to come from.
Right.
And we get oil out of it. It's super bad for you. So this is the hill I die on. Is everybody's dad getting heart attacks and dying in their 50s, 60s, right? That started that wasn't a forever throughout history or because we have more food and everyone's fat. That literally happened right after Crisco came out, which was the first it's not butter or lard or olive oil. It's so after World War II, we had all these factories making guns and gunpowder and bandages and stuff. We had all this overproduction, uniforms, everything. And we just had a lot of waste. One of the things of waste was cotton seeds. There's just literally billions of these things. So what do we do with this shit? If we press it, we get a very, very minuscule, tiny bit of oil out of every one. But if we do billions, it gives us grapeseed oil or Crisco or whatever product. That shit fucks with your insides, and that's why literally everybody's dad started dying of heart attacks. Yeah. So if your grandpa's dead early and your dad's all bent out of shape about it, like mine, that's probably what happened. That's probably what happened. Yeah. Because all of a sudden, butter's expensive, lard is expensive.
And then the cheap shit kills you.
Cheap shit comes out. You can put it in cookies. You can cook with it. And, it's and listen, I'm not a scientist. In fact, there's a lot of people who give me flack because I talk very confidently about this. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
But that shit adds up.
Well, I do the same thing. I say things like I know it to be true, and then usually it's full of shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I definitely like to read the conspiracy theories. They're fun to me. I like to read more about the aliens.
So you know what? Where I think I figured out where I lie on this. I like ones that you can trace back in time. And at least they add up. Like the Crisco thing to me, it just makes sense.
Right.
Aliens, I'm I don't know. Was it the Fermi paradox?
Fermi,
yeah.
Fermi paradox.
So speaking of space, though, are you all caught up on the Dune movies?
No. I need to watch the second one. I didn't think I was gonna like them. Excellent films. I read the book.
Oh,
So
you really know Dune. I just watched the movies. I don't know shit.
Yeah. No. I was a reader. I haven't been reading a lot lately. Sure. I feel like I'm getting dumber, so I need to start. I started doing the jumble in a newspaper again to try to get my brain up.
Sure.
Fucking crossword puzzles and shit like that. But I need to start reading because you know what reading to me leads to writing. And I haven't been writing new jokes, and that's been bothering me.
No, I feel you. It's anything to get that going.
I got to get that creative spark going again, and that's usually what reading does for me. I picked up a new book. I don't know if I like it yet though, but it seems very Dune-like. I think it's called The Empire of Silence or something like that.
Just a Star Wars coloring book.
Yeah, basically, it's basically some kid is
the
not
chosen one.
He's not the favorite of his dad, but he's going to do something great.
Yeah.
He's got daddy issues, and it actually seems pretty Dune-like. World building.
See, for me, it's
but I got to see the movie.
Dude, it's wild.
I was so mad that the first movie was so long and it didn't even like crack like halfway through the book.
Which I get if you're someone who's like read the book and you have that familiarity.
Yeah.
But as a newcomer to it, I've not been so like not bored over 3 hours for both of those movies. I was just like it just. I felt like they did a good job with covering that material, but again, I don't expect anything that's coming, so I'm watching everything like oh, shit, like every second is like I'm getting new stuff.
Yeah,
but books are tough, man, because like for me, I will read a book, but it really has to catch me, and I'm someone that grew up with video games and the internet, and
right?
It's like how do you get my attention? And I'll answer my own question. My girlfriend was reading a book like last year when we were on Amtrak. We were on like a 1.5-day trip, so we had time to kill.
Right.
And she's reading this book called Tender is the Flesh. And it's got like a little bit of a gnarly looking cover. And
like romance novel.
Bro, that's what I thought.
Yeah, oh, okay.
It's a book about eating people.
Eating people.
And she tells me the premise. I'm going to tell you guys the premise of this book. It is so worth the read. It was insane. So it's a conspiracy theorist's wet dream. So basically, scientists all over are like, okay, animals, pets, livestock, birds in the sky, they all carry a virus. If they come near you or you eat animal food, animal products, you will get the virus and die. So people are walking around cities with umbrellas so the birds don't have a chance of diving and touching them or like bird shit hitting them.
Yeah.
And all the meat packing industry just goes belly up until they're like, change legislation and allow people start breeding and collecting and farming human meat. And the premise was just so fucking out there and dystopic that I was like, okay. And I read it in like a day. And I'm not a smart guy, but I was like, I need to know where they're going with this plot. And the main character is a guy who inherited a meatpacking plant and he hates his fucking life because he knows what he's doing.
Right.
And I recommend it. It was good. It was a meaty premise.
Those are the type of books like I've had a couple of those where it's just like I read like the back. I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds cool, and then like I get like it grabs you right from like the first couple of pages, and then you're just through it, you know.
Yeah.
But there's it. I usually tried to read like a book like that was like for like educational purposes, and then like a fantasy, something that like were sci-fi that I would be like, really like, and like, I'd get like sucked in about like, and it would be like more enjoyable, but then like, I don't know, man, it's something like happened at like maybe like a couple of years ago, and it's just like I haven't been playing video games, I haven't been reading, like I haven't been like doing anything I really enjoy. I think that's depression, but like I'm not sure, because like I'm not like depressed.
Well, are you doing other things that you like doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I'm working more, I got into a relationship, so I got to like spend time with the girl, like my time, I guess, is like, more, like spent more efficiently,
Yeah, you got obligations, but
yeah.
I guess the question is, in your free time, though, when you can be doing those things.
Yeah.
That's really...
I guess I kind of just, like, zone out in front of the TV because, like, I'm tired from doing all the other things, I don't know if it's, like, a getting older thing or a depression thing, but, like, I have all these, like, books stacked up, and, like, this was, like, a big thing, too. Like, at work, there's, like, I don't... I get some free time at work, and I used to like bring in like my Nintendo Switch or like a book, and then like now I don't, so I'm not doing it there. I'm not doing it at home. I gotta like get back into it. I think the first step for me is buying a PS5.
Ooh, I was just talking to Tim Thompson about this the other night.
Yeah.
Because we were hanging out and he asked me if I keep up with like gaming releases at all, because I used to work at GameStop. I used to be just I want to play all the new shit coming out.
See, me and Tim Thompson used to have a gaming podcast.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him the other day, and he asked me, he's like, what have you been playing? And I'm like, nothing. Like I play like Magic on my phone.
Yeah.
Like that's about it.
Dude, I had to like remove the ability to download any of the Yu-Gi-Oh apps from the Play Store for my phone.
Yeah.
I'll get sucked in. Like I can't. I'll just think about it all day.
Yeah, I spent way too much money on like Magic and Hearthstone. It's another card game.
No, it's wild. But yeah, I told him, I'm like, I don't think I'm not really in the market for a PS5 because there's like a few new, like truly new games, and everything else is a sequel that's very similar to the previous, or a straight up remake from the PS4 era. And it's like, I want to justify dropping $600 on a gaming machine. I've been doing it my whole life, but like, I don't know, like I don't know what I would play. They're just not putting out a lot of new interesting shit.
Right.
Like, there's one game on PS5 that I've been dying to play since it came out. It's called Returnal. And it's like, you know the term roguelike, right?
Yeah.
So it's a roguelike shooter, and the idea is it's like Groundhog Day. You crash on this alien planet, and you got to like fight these guys and get off. And like every time you die, your shit starts from the crash.
Okay.
And it looks really fun because it's like a bullet hell shooter, but in 3D. So like, you know, you're weaving around like a ton of projectiles that all different colors, and it's super fun and interesting and original, and it's like the one.
Right.
Like what I can't think of another.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man 2 is a big game on that system. Spider-Man 1 was great on PS4. It's just more of it.
Yeah.
You know what
that's
I mean?
what
Like,
it seems. And it's just like, it's just a Spider-Man game, and like, just has a lot of outfits.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. They just gave Spider-Man a lot of outfits.
But like, it's a real telling thing when even the people who like it are like, yeah, I mean, it's more of the same, but it's more of good. But it's like, yeah, but it's not getting me excited. I still have to drop a lot of money to play this.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like $600, like could also be like a weekend getaway with the girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know, compared to like a system, and like that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been spending like a lot more money on like her and like saving to try to get like a house.
Yeah.
You know, like, and
Life.
it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like being an adult. You know.
No, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, you should see my apartment now, dude. Because when you came over to record the podcast, that was before I met my girlfriend. After I met my girlfriend and found out that she's the one hot chick in the world that's into model trains.
Yeah.
My whole kitchen is just a model train set at this point. It's like a table that my buddy helped me build, and it's like on top of the kitchen table, so you can slide one table under. And it's just, let me see if I have a picture, man. It's like some autism
like,
wet dream.
Me and my girl, we got a lot in common, but you know, she's not like a video game player. You know, she's
okay. Well,
she hates Star Wars, which is like a big X in the other category, and she fucking knows it.
Dude, what a shame of a franchise, though. I used to love Star Wars.
Yeah,
I came out of Dune 2 being like, this is just good Star Wars.
Right.
Like I did such a hard flip on
the
that
expanded Dune universe gets really fucking weird.
Oh,
like,
dude, I've been seeing some Wikipedia articles that would agree with you.
Yeah, it gets really fucking weird.
Yeah, it gets.
But like, you know, Star Wars is like just like a fucking money grab at this point, which is like a lot of things. You know, like Marvel went that way. You know, it's just kind of what Disney does.
But that's why I feel like everybody's talking about it on the internet. That's what's cool about the new Dune movies is they are these huge blockbuster sci-fi action-packed mamba jambas, but like it reminds me of that thing that Scorsese was like, there's cinema and then there's Marvel movies, and I actually was very defensive about that when I first heard that, but then I saw these Dune movies and I'm like, oh, these are well-made pieces of cinema. Yeah, like the people that made them are not just thinking about the return on investment. They're making a cool movie about a thing that they fucking love, and you can feel that. They are not paying me to say this. But they're just that good. And I feel like Star Wars hasn't been doing that. Marvel hasn't been doing that. No. Most studios have not been doing that.
Yeah, but that's the same thing like we were just talking about video games. Like it's usually just like sequels or fucking reboots, you know, like they're not coming up with anything new, you know, like Dune is just like, you know, obviously like coming from a book, you know, like even that, like no one's like just like making like new content, really. You know, everything's kind of recycled, or like they're just pulling from books or video games to make movies, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. It bothers me a lot. But like Dune definitely needed a better movie. It was a Dune movie from the past. Did you see that?
I've just seen a lot about it with these two coming out, with the new ones coming out, the David Lynch one.
Yeah, David Lynch did it, the guy who did Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And
it feels like
it's a cool movie.
Yeah.
And actually, the
Cool's
guy,
a flexible word.
Well, it's like interesting. It's just, you know, like they had.
It's very out there.
That one was actually more book accurate.
Yeah, that's what they say. Other than the voice thing.
Yeah,
they changed. I heard that they changed how that works.
Yeah.
It's not like magic.
Yeah,
but I hear it's almost like slavishly accurate.
Yeah,
and it's what makes it hard to digest.
Yeah, and it's actually funny. David Lynch, I think, used the main character from Twin Peaks. I forget his name.
Yeah, it's the same dude.
Yeah,
for sure.
as fucking what's his name?
Atreides.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah. And who was the fucking the bad guy? Oh God, it's gonna drive me crazy. No, one of his sons.
Oh, played by Sting.
Yeah, it was Sting. Yeah, I was gonna say Bowie.
I mean, you know, tomato.
Yeah, it was definitely like a cool movie for back then.
Sure,
you know, but like it's like old Star Wars graphics. You know, like it's a lot of like puppets and shit. You know, like compared to like fucking anime. You know, what is it? CGI.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting fucking dumber.
Yeah, I watched a video on the special effects in the new Dune movies, and the guys that they work in the industry and they watch clips and comment on how it was probably done, and it was interesting. They were saying a lot of practical stuff compared to a lot of other big blockbusters, but then a lot of the effects, like the way that they did the shields in the new Dune movies, are not even CGI. It's actually a very low tech thing to get the effect where like it's like you're. The blue and the red, and I think that was really cool that they were like, you know what, we could throw $1 billion more at making it like CG and look, and they were just like, yeah, let's just make it look good. It's not about fucking paying some company $1 billion to make it look good. Like I get that, like when you make art, you want to make money, you want to make a living, you want to live. But you got to balance it. You got to make art that people actually fuck with. And,
right.
That's why these movies just hit me so. Because here's the thing: it is a recycled. It's an old intellectual property. They technically remade it because they had the movie in the '80s.
Yeah.
But you could just tell it was made, with fucking love.
Yeah. The first one was really cool. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good cast. But like. I just wish like there would be like I'm trying to think of like a movie that just kind of like stood out where it just wasn't a book, it wasn't a video game, it just was like new and like fucking really interesting, and like it's just really hard to even come up with one right now.
No, it is. It's like the Key's horror movies are definitely where's appeal. Someone's gonna say I'm racist.
I'm not a horror guy.
Me neither, but if like it really takes it has to be a good movie first.
Yeah.
And I feel like they are kind of a rare beast.
Yeah.
But
I watched the first one. What was that? Get Out?
Yeah. I couldn't place it. I saw that one. I really liked it. That was kind of new and original. But yeah, I feel you. There's not a lot, and when they come around, it's cool, and then you hope that they're also good on top of being original, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of why I haven't been like gone to the movies, because I feel like you're spending now, like, unless you're going on a deal day, like $20, and then it's like you're wasting 2 hours of your life.
I think a big part of it is just like, for me, I was going to the movies like every time a new Marvel movie came out, because I was so invested in the Infinity War saga,
Yeah, you couldn't miss it. You really couldn't.
Yeah,
stay in the discussion.
That was like. I don't want to be like that guy, but like that was my favorite comic, or comics as a kid. was the Infinity War. I was the biggest Adam Warlock fan, and he just was absent. And then like Guardians fucking 3, they turned him into like a retard.
Yeah,
and like this is what's bothering me with Marvel is like they're not staying true to like the characters. Like they give Thor a sense of humor, you know, and like Thor's is not like that. I get it. Like they like all their movies to be like campy and like, you know, like a little fucking jovial and like. That's fine, but like
it became every movie had the same
you
sense
know,
of humor.
Yeah, and like I don't know. And now since Endgame, they've really been missing the mark on a lot of shit. You know, it's really not been that good. And I mean, the guy, Jonathan Majors, I guess he really fucked up because like they were really going to be they were really going to be leaning on him.
He was going to be the next Thanos, and then what did he do? I forget. How did he fuck up?
He got into a domestic thing with his girlfriend, you know, and like the video that I saw, he was actually like running away from the girlfriend, but like he did like beat her ass, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, not a good look.
But
not a good look.
You know, the only things that Marvel really put out that I liked was Moon Knight and Loki 2. You know,
see, I didn't even tune into Loki 2. When the first wave of the Disney Plus shows hit, like I loved WandaVision. I wanted to love Loki season 1. And I wanted to like Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I think they were doing interesting things, but it was just so obvious that they had a very minimal script, and then they had to stretch it out to be a certain amount of episodes.
See, I
couldn't do it.
I didn't like WandaVision. I did not like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I did not like what they just put out, the new one with the.
I did like She-Hulk. She-Hulk was weird and silly, but
didn't even watch it.
It was pretty good.
It looked so bad. I didn't even watch that one. I'm probably going to. But,
no, definitely do. And here's the thing: I liked the Marvel shows before the Disney Plus era when they were on Netflix, and
those were great.
And it was the whole thing. We're like, oh, are they canon to the movies?
Yeah.
And it's like kinda because we're fighting behind the scenes, but like Daredevil, the first season of Jessica Jones, the first season of Luke Cage.
Well, the Daredevil, the 3 seasons were like near perfect television.
Yeah,
it was near perfect. Even to me, I'm a big Punisher fan. So those 2 seasons I thought were really good, but
no, definitely,
you know,
fucking shit the bed with Iron Fist though.
Yeah, Iron Fist was pretty bad.
That was rough.
I didn't really like Luke Cage. He's just not one of my favorite characters. You know,
sure, yeah, fair.
Same with Jessica Jones, but like. She had a cool villain. Like
that's why that first season is nuts.
David Tennant's like such a good actor.
The Purple Man.
Yeah, the Purple Man, and he's like a really dangerous villain, like which is, you know, crazy for her to handle.
You know, when something in the Marvel universe like inspires actual dread from the villain, because like that's what you got to do. And you know what? That's what Baron Harkonnen did in the new Dune. I actually was like, this fat fuck is scary.
Yeah,
like
when
the shit makes you feel. And you know what? David Tennant's Purple Man. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
He could just tell me to fuck myself, and I would have to find a way.
Right.
Like
right. You know.
Spooky.
Yeah, man. But I think we gotta get out, right, Tony? It's just about. Yeah.
If you want. All right.
All right. Well, you know, we could do that for plugs. Anything you want to plug?
Just shows. Let me pop out my calendar. I got Joke Folks in Huntington. Is this live? Is this coming out today? Tomorrow?
Today.
Sweet. So Joke Folks, downtown Huntington, March 19th, tomorrow night, starting at 7:00. We do a little game show segment before.
Joke Folks? What is that, today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. It's Tuesday. And then, what the fuck else do I got?
That's at Industry?
Yeah, Industry in Huntington.
I like that show. I fucking can't get down to that one.
Well, I got some dates on the book. We'll talk after.
You can block
them out.
That's usually a good show. Tuesdays are rough for me.
And then April 5th, you and me, Oyster Bay Brewing Company.
Hell yeah.
Which has been a great show. It's a free show. Just got to buy a couple drinks to support the house. But it's a cool spot. Comedians drink for free.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, we've had like the first one we had like 100 people. Last one I think we had like 80. Like it's still either way I'm happy about it.
Yeah, it's
fucking,
pretty solid.
Good. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of.
You got one coming up with Travis, right?
Travis, yeah, that's at US Brews in Centerport. Also a free show. That is Wednesday, the 27th of March. So
Hell yeah.
Which I like plugging that show, but it ends up being because it's so far off the beaten path. It's just like the Centerport kind of towny show, and I don't even mean that as a pejorative because like they fucking love it. They turn out for it. They have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't expect anybody from anywhere else to drive to Centerport. I'm from Centerport. I love that town, but it's like the tip
It's
top of
fucking
Long Island,
deep out there.
in between super duper rich towns. It's like the one town on the shore that's like not everyone's a billionaire. It's an interesting vibe. You know when like Long Island towns aren't in the Hamptons, but they try to be like beachy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing that. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I think that's it.
Right on.
Governor's staff, if you're watching this, please put Broken Mike on the books before I leave. I would love it. We're having a really good time with that. Last one was a few weeks ago. And then, yeah, I'm really just trying to get that show picked up in Austin at this point.
All right, cool, man. And where can they find you?
Brandon.Laka on Instagram, Chubby Ben Affleck on OnlyFans. I did make the OnlyFans, by the way.
Did you?
Just for the fun, like to put comedy shit up because I do that joke so much.
That's
just
great.
had to
Do you have any
become real.
subscribers?
No. But, be the first, motherfuckers. And then I just revamped my YouTube presence, Brandon Laka Comedy.
Awesome. Yeah, man. And one other date I'll plug is April 19th. I'll be in the Giggle Room with Terry McNeely. And you can find us on Treading Water Podcast all over and me at The Logic. And that's it, man. Thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
I was a little worried when you told me to wear the sunglasses because, like, it's a slippery slope thing with Travis. Like, first it's like, come with sunglasses. Then it's like, you have a all expenses paid trip to Colombia.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, what do you have me do? But no, this was really fun. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, dude. Thank you. Take care.